Jeffrey Dahmer's name is synonymous with horror. Over a span of 13 years, his crimes revealed a darkness few could fathom, a chilling tale of murder, necrophilia, and cannibalism that shocked the world. Dahmer's gruesome story began in 1978 when he committed his first murder at the age of 18. His victim was 19-year-old Stephen Hicks, whom Dahmer picked up while hitchhiking. Dahmer lured Hicks to his family home with the promise of drinks and conversation. Once there, Dahmer bludgeoned him with a dumbbell and strangled him. After the murder, Dahmer dismembered Hicks's body and, in a method he would later repeat with other victims, disposed of the remains by smashing the bones and scattering them in the woods behind his house. After this first murder, Dahmer's dark urges lay dormant for nearly a decade. However, in 1987, his killing spree began in earnest. He moved to Milwaukee, where he lived in a small apartment that would become the site of his most horrific crimes. Dahmer's typical method involved luring young men, often from bars or bus stops, back to his apartment with promises of money or alcohol. Once inside, he would drug them, strangle them, and then engage in disturbing acts with their bodies. His crimes escalated to the point where he would dismember his victims and keep parts of their bodies as trophies, including skulls and bones. But Dahmer's depravity didn't stop there. He confessed to engaging in necrophilia with the bodies of his victims, and even went so far as to consume parts of them. The gruesome details of his cannibalism shocked investigators and the public alike. Dahmer later explained that consuming his victims made them feel like a permanent part of him, a twisted way of possessing them forever. Despite the horrifying nature of his crimes, Dahmer managed to evade detection for years. His ability to blend into society as a quiet, unassuming man allowed him to continue his killing spree undetected. There were several close calls, such as in 1988 when one of his victims, a 14-year-old boy named Konorak Synthesomphone, managed to escape Dahmer's apartment. Naked and drugged, the boy was found by neighbors who called the police. However, when Dahmer arrived on the scene, he convinced the officers that the boy was his adult lover, and that they were simply having a domestic dispute. The police, astonishingly, returned the boy to Dahmer's custody. Within hours, Dahmer killed him. Dahmer's reign of terror finally came to an end on July 22, 1991. His last intended victim, Tracy Edwards, managed to escape from Dahmer's apartment and flagged down 2 police officers. When the officers arrived at Dahmer's apartment, they discovered photographs of dismembered bodies and human remains, including a severed head in the refrigerator and a heart in the freezer. The scene was one of unimaginable horror. Dahmer was arrested and later confessed to 17 murders, providing detailed accounts of his crimes. The trial that followed in 1992 was one of the most publicized in American history. Dahmer's defense team argued that he was insane, but the jury found him legally sane and guilty of all charges. He was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms in prison, amounting to 957 years behind bars. During his time in prison, Dahmer expressed remorse for his actions, though many doubted the sincerity of his regret. His notoriety made him a target for other inmates, and on November 28, 1994, Dahmer was beaten to death by a fellow prisoner while cleaning a bathroom in the prison. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss our next videos.